Awesome. Well, I'm here with Kimberly Howard Wade, who runs Caldera, and we're in Central Oregon.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's a property that Dan Wyden of Wyden and Kennedy bought 30 years ago, maybe a little bit before, but Caldera started in '96, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So my personal story, and you might not be able to see on here, I am in Oregon because when I was 19 years old, I worked at Black Butte Ranch, which is literally like 7 miles from here in Central Oregon. And I have hiked and swam in Suttle Lake, which is like a few hundred yards from here, hundreds of times. And Kimberly just took me on this amazing tour. I thought that Caldera was this like cute little camp for a few kids, and what it really is so much more than that. So can you just tell us about like a few of the highlights that you showed me on the tour and the scope of Caldera?
Oh yes. Okay. We started with the Hearth Building, and as I noted, right, it's
which is right behind us over here. Yeah.
The Hearth Building is a world-class piece of architecture, and that was really Dan's intent, which was the young people that we're serving who are coming from underserved communities, basically, they would be able to come to a space and experience awe and wonder and something very special and world-class that's just for them.
Yeah.
So we went through that. We went over to our Papa Bear Lodge, which is one of our newest spaces, and that was built in honor of Dan Wyden. Papa Bear is his camp name. And in that space, we have drumming, West African drumming, and our environmental ed happening this summer. But during the off season, when the youth aren't here, it's open for community. And so community can sort of rent the space and occupy the space and have their own experiences. We went through our dormitory. We call it Tamarack Hall. It's actually more like a small hotel. 22 people can sleep there. Right now the staff is fully utilizing that, because our staff grows to about 100 people during the summer.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you have artists in residence here as well. Yeah.
Yes. We also looked at our A-frames. That's for the Artist in Residency program. The Ford Family Foundation calls it a golden spot of residency programs in the country. And it is part of the Caldera ecosystem.
Yeah.
And so again, that idea of demonstrating and inspiring and supporting young people to awaken their creative voice by seeing other people who look like them, who've had similar experiences, becoming an artist. And having that be their living. Yeah. So when they engage with our artist in residency program during the winter.
Awesome.
Which is great.
And tell me about this. Yeah.
Oh yes. So this is my wood cookie, but it's my name tag.
And you are?
I am Queen Bee here when I'm at Caldera, and our names are the first creative act that a young person gets to have, and we ask them to sort of, what do you want to be called when you're here at Caldera? What will make you feel good? What will make you feel seen? And what will light you up and just feel poured into when you are here? And so, they choose all kinds of different names. I chose Queen Bee because it's connecting me to, I love bees. I love honey. And I thought about the queen bee is the one who's making sure that the hive is healthy and that the honey that runs from the hive is healthy and delicious.
Yeah.
So that's my role at Caldera.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So this is really a segue. I think I do these We Believe in Portland videos, but a segue of the whole state and how we're connected, because you're headquartered for administration type stuff and most of your funders are out of Portland. But clearly, like, the heart and soul is Central Oregon, which has all these incredible natural beauties. You serve 500 kids a year, and it's a year-round thing?
It's a year-round thing, yes.
Yeah. But a lot, you said 100 staff in the summer, and you have like a budget of almost $5 million a year. Like, this is a whole operations here that is all around. What's amazing about that, and someone who raises money for several nonprofits that I've co-founded or been involved in, is like to get funders, investors, to believe in creativity enough to like put money, like it's kind of a whole art community here, right? And talk about the long-term impacts. Like, the purpose of Caldera isn't just like a normal summer camp. It's to be with kids for 7 consecutive years.
That's right. Yes. So. And the reason for the 7 years is that continuity. We are looking at developing flourishing human beings. And a lot of times people talk about flourishing versus success. and success is what we measure by the human standards. But flourishing is growing well where you are planted. And so a good example is Shago 2. Shago 2 is actually a daughter of an alumni. Shago 2 is about to go to college. She has her senior year here with Caldera, and then she's going to go to college. She wants to be a social worker. And she attributes wanting to be a social worker because she learned here at Caldera that connection is so vital to somebody feeling valued where they live. And when you feel valued, then you are able to contribute and give back. And so she wants to give back. She wants to be there for others the way that Caldera has been here for her. And so she's planning to go on to be a social worker.
That's awesome. So for so many of us who are in Oregon, we're outdoorsy, we love Central Oregon, and this is a hidden gem because it is behind gates and stuff like that. Talk to me about, like, there's a couple times a year that you do community connection and have events where people can come and check it out.
Yes, we started, because I think we were talking about having people give to something that they can't see and can't experience. Is really difficult. One of our core values is actually experience. And the subtitle of that is you don't know Caldera until you've actually experienced Caldera. And you have to be on the land, but you also have to be in the community and understand sort of how all of the things connect. So it's not just creativity, it's creativity in nature. And it's not just creativity in nature, it's also in this community that is so intercultural. And we say intercultural as opposed to multicultural because it's about the connections across our differences. A really great story from way back in the beginning was when we first started bringing Portland young people together with Central Oregon young people here for 8 days. Some of them had never camped before. They've never been outdoors. And for the Central Oregon students back in the early 2000s, they'd never seen Black and brown children. And for Black and brown children, they didn't necessarily know white people who were friends. And so here they are together. And one of my favorite stories was the number of the young white girls that were wearing cornrows by the end of the summer because they would sit together and they would braid each other's hair. It was like a cultural exchange.
That's cool.
Similarly, people in Portland were learning that the people out here weren't just country folk, right? That there was something that they had in common. Yeah,
that's cool. And you've had at least 1 or 2 script interns here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, tell me about what did they do here?
So our first script intern was last summer, and Andrea, and she came in to do social media for us. We're a creative organization, and so how we tell stories was really super important. And social media is this huge thing. So she came in to do that. And so this summer I said, let's look at also bringing in an intern to help us here on site with logistics, because that's a huge thing. Like, who's sleeping where, and how much food do we have, and who's getting on this bus, and how long does that, connecting with families, that's a huge aspect. And so we have an intern, Jennifer, we call her Hirosol, who is here with us this summer and is enjoying, as far as I know, having a great summer.
That's awesome.
So if we want to do it again, I have this vision of helping some of our young people. You just met Orca. Orca is a graduate and who came back to work. She's studying. It's like
full circle, right? Full circle, camper to
staff. But she's studying graphic design at University of San Francisco, and so when she's ready for an internship, I would love to introduce her to the script and have her apply, and then so that connection goes this way and that way.
Yeah, and I think so many of us that maybe aren't in the creative community. Well, I am, but like a lot of my friends aren't. But they're outdoor. They love Central Oregon. They love place, and we all are connected to beauty, aesthetics and beauty and nature. And so I love that it weaves it all together. And so whereas other things, you've got to be in the city to see symphony's amazing, but like you got to be there. I like that you're bringing it to places that are core to like Oregonian values, basically. Yeah.
One of our most beloved things here is canoe photography.
Oh, because you have this. Yeah, is it Blue Lake? Yeah,
Blue Lake.
Stunning. Yeah.
And it's I think the second deepest lake in the state, second to Crater Lake.
Wow.
But the canoe photography, you met Sister J. Ray. She's our photography teacher. She's been teaching photography for us for probably the last, 29, almost 30 years.
Wow.
She was Portland's first creative laureate, but she has a pedagogy around perspective. And it is, the bird's eye perspective, it is the human perspective, it's the snake eye perspective, but it's looking through the lens of a camera, very technologically complicated. And how do you see the world? And so it's so important that we're actually in nature for those kinds of experiences. And we have underwater cameras as well.
Oh, cool.
We have some amazing photos that are taken from the canoe underwater of this deep, clear, crystal blue lake.
Yeah, I want to be a camp counselor so bad, but I don't have the background for it. But I just, at the next community event, sign me up. So
Oh, absolutely.
Really appreciate this. Thanks, Kimberly.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers.
Sure. So in our last session, the high schoolers worked on sort of place-based creativity and using pieces of nature to create structures. And these structures are meant to be temporal, so they will go back to nature at some point. But until then, they are pieces of art.
Awesome. Thank you.
It's delicate and thoughtful. We're in a reflective space of why do we have teepees and why should we continue to have teepees? The early days of Caldera, we had a family from Montana, actually. Rocky Boys band. John Sunchild was part of the sort of native knowledge bearers that were advising at the federal level for many years. And Johnny Bigelow bought this property for $200 from the railroad.
Oh, wow.
Back in, I think, the 20s or 30s.
Okay.
And then the Lovegrims, who owned the property.
1920s or 30s, because we're now in 20.
Yes,
Yeah.
And then the Lovegrims moved here from Eugene to open up what they called Blue Lake Resort, and they bought it from Johnny Bigelow.
Cool.
And then the Widens bought it from them and dedicated it to creativity and use. Second deepest crater lake to Crater Lake, in fact.
Oh, really?
So
in the state of Oregon?
In the state of Oregon. It is a